Hey guys, last week I mentioned bringing you on the next part of my backyard garden journey where I show you how I built a potting bench. I'll show you in the next video of how I start to soup up this cool potting bench with organizational things and essentials that I think all the gardeners need to put into their work areas. But I'm getting ahead of myself. First, the structure. My awesome garden group friend, Lindsay, graciously offered to help me since she knows way more about woodworking than I did at the beginning of this project. I have a whole lot of used wood and materials on hand, and I really didn't want to put much money into this project. So I used mostly what I had, so it's really a cobbled together project. Free is the best, right? I researched some inspirational pictures and articles of what I wanted this to look like on the internet or Pinterest, so I planned to have a simple structure for a roof that shed water and gave me somewhere to work with a nice big open countertop space that I could start cuttings and seedlings on during good weather, but would also keep some of the harsh sun and rain off of me, still leaving a worktop that won't cluster up my back patio. My husband thanks me. Haha. With Lindsay helping, we knocked this project out in 2 days worth of work, except for paint and accessories, but that's next week. Granted, the bottom part of the bench was actually donated by her from a previous project she and her husband had done and didn't need anymore. Win-win, it's free. Yay, thanks, Lindsay. From there, it was just a matter of putting up the back braces along the side of the garage wall and anchoring the framework for the roofing onto them. We climbed all over that thing like monkeys, getting caught the first day in the rain after finishing just enough to throw some panels on top for a quick shelter when the deluge started for our tools and us. It was kind of a welcome cool off for us though. The next day we were able to get together. We used 8 identical 2x2s that were about 4 feet long. I had already found on a curb as the stringers for the corrugated panel supports, and evenly spaced them out along the framework and then hung them about 8 inches over the edge of the boxed frame area to allow for support for those corrugated panels hanging off some as the drip line. The 2 sheets of paneling we put on attached long ways with special plastic brackets and anchoring screws I had to buy. And yes, I know it's not supposed to be attached that direction, but I wanted it shed to the sides when it rained and not towards the front where I'd enter from. We really didn't want it going anywhere in our hurricanes. It's locked down tight. Because rot is such a thing we have to deal with here in Houston with our high humidity and average 52 inches of rain a year, we needed to elevate the feet. So we used some garden corner concrete blocks that I had sitting aside from a previous raised bed. Perfect. All measurements were taken with these included at the bottom. I'm pretty happy with how level the area started with, even though we did have to dig out some dirt below the back left footing. But otherwise, the counter seems level for my use. One more thing out of my junk pile. Yes. Then we put 4x4s cut to the space between the back support boards to fill the gaps and keep things on the tabletop from falling back behind. We flushed those with the board and screwed those in place. We left the side supports of the original bench structurally approximately feet out by 1 feet wide and just created sections on the ends with some more 1/2 inch thick boards to keep it all level. Flushed those boards to the first board using my speed square and anchored those also. I did have to do some chiseling on the right hand side at the bottom to fit it over the L brackets that are anchored to the back support beam, but otherwise it turned out really good.
Lindsay, yeah, watch out for 1 second.
Don't take a picture of this. Watch for my next video where I sand the surfaces, painted this awesome nautical blue I used on my garage door, and how I soup it up with organizational tips and hacks for your garden workstations. Essentials I know I use nearly every time. Thanks for watching and supporting me. Please like and subscribe to follow for the next videos. Bye guys. So much work to do. It's exciting.